Investigators are trying to find answers following the discovery of human remains in a wooded area in Vernon last month.
The remains are not those of three little girls who went missing decades ago. So where does the investigation go from here? News 8's Jamie Muro has that.
There's an untold story here, one that's still being written. In March, Vernon police were called to this former landfill site on West Street after human remains were discovered. Neighbors were nervous, yet captivated.
Well, that kind of startles you right across the street, you know. Now you're looking everywhere over your shoulder, seeing, well.
Weeks later, a morsel of new information is released.
Through these DNA tests, criminalists from the Connecticut Forensic Lab were able to positively rule out that the recovered remains belong to the three locally missing girls.
DNA was entered into the National Combined DNA Index System known as CODIS. No match, so now what?
This type of case presents a real challenge for investigators because you don't know the identity of your victim, and so much of what we do begins with understanding the victim, their past behavior, their associations, and without that it's very difficult to move a case like this forward.
Peter Valentin is a retired state police forensic science detective, now a professor at the University of New Haven. Although the landfill closed decades ago, he advises one not to jump to conclusions about the age of the remains.
Well, the CODIS database is for nuclear DNA, so that DNA, if it existed on the bone, tells me that the bones couldn't have been 30 or more years old, or in line with the age of the junkyard, or the, what was it called again?
Landfill.
The landfill. So it wasn't keeping in with the bones being left at about the time the landfill was being used.
The bones tell part of a story, a suspicious one at that, but right now, Peter says chapters remain.
On one side of this, you could have a person who simply had a heart attack in a place where nobody saw them, and this could be a natural death. But the fact is, there's just not enough information to know that for sure. So was it accidental? We don't know yet. Could it have been a suicide? Perhaps. There isn't enough information yet. Could it have been a homicide? You know, that seems perhaps the more likely scenario given what's happened.
In Vernon, I'm Jamie Muro, News 8.